What's up, everybody? It's Dark Horse Sports Podcast. We're breaking down the latest news, giving you our opinions, raw, unfiltered, uncut from true fans. And my name is Ben,
I'm Colin.
Rico.
Michael.
and we're here to talk about sports. Now, it's really hot. What's really hot right now is the World Cup, NBA. We're going to talk about some Caitlin Clark abuse. But first, can we get a round of applause for our boys in red, white, and blue winning their World Cup matchup 2-0?
Whoa!
Let's go, boys!
Let's go. Now, we've got a couple World Cup topics to talk about, but I don't want to get too far into that yet because I know we have a lot to talk about. But something that's been on my mind in social media a lot lately is the WNBA. Now, I know not everyone's watching it yet, but it was getting really popular with Caitlin Clark. However, now there's a problem. Apparently, a lot of people are thinking that Caitlin Clark should even leave the league, the WNBA, because she's being targeted, perhaps unfairly, by the refs, the league, and other players, getting beat up the other day, essentially, and missing 2 games because of a back injury. I don't know what your guys' opinions are, but it's all over social media, and people are saying that they're just jealous of Caitlin Clark, and the WNBA doesn't know how to treat their cash cow. Yeah, and they're jealous. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. Are people being overrating the situation, or are they right? And last but not least, what could be done about it? Michael, what's going on?
She's been targeted since she came into the league. So she needs to be protected. She's the best player they got by far. Unescu's probably their second best. Asia Wilson maybe third. But she's been targeted since the beginning. So protect her. She doesn't need to leave. The other people that are beating her up probably need to leave. That's my opinion on that.
She's out there trying to play. She's out there pushing other players and dunking in their faces. Of course, people are gonna get mad. Of course, she's gonna be targeted. That's not true for anybody that's good in any professional sport. I think she should grow up here and learn how to deal with it instead of crying.
Well, I hope she doesn't grow up here. Let's put it that way.
No, screw
Tell
that.
Tell a woman to grow up here. That's classic. You know what it does remind me of before we get to you, Colin? It kind of reminds me of when Michael Jordan entered the league and he was like, everyone was saying how great he was and he was very athletic and dunking on people and really amazing. And then, the Jordan rules, he was getting beat up all over the place. It kind of reminds me of what the NBA was 40 years ago. What do you think, Colin?
Aspect. A lot of these players watch. I'm sure a lot of these WNBA players watched her college career and how good she was coming up and stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, she's what, the all-time... Caitlin Clark is the all-time leading scorer in college, beating Jerry West, I think, for most points in their college career. Yeah.
Right, both men and women, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was a superstar before coming in. And yeah, maybe it's the media's fault, but I agree with you, Mike. I don't know why they're beating her up so much. It looks intentional to me, Mike. I don't know if you agree with that, especially after that last foul when she was still on the court. I saw stat guys online that really, it was kind of mind-blowing, and I looked it up. But it's true. So nearly 1 in 5 flagrant fouls in the WNBA have been committed against Caitlin Clark in her rookie season. There's also been lots of no calls and finding calls against her. Like, first, it looked like a call that she might have received, but then the refs changing it to be a call against her, including technical fouls. Right now, she's tied for first in the WNBA. I mean, seriously. And then, but with that last incident that happened, Alyssa Thomas was suspended 1 day after the incident where she kind of looked like it knocked her over and then put her hands or fist into her throat. But Caitlin Clark's just missed a couple of games with back pain. Do you think a 1-game suspension is enough to set the tone for how to treat flagrant fouls and stuff, and how they're treating the abuse towards Caitlin Clark?
Did they give her a reduction in pay or miss out on any money?
I'm not sure.
Because that would probably hurt the pocketbook more and send the message more, I think.
Is there some kind of penalty, like a dollar fine? Is that what kind of?
Yeah, like a dollar
now,
fine.
part of the thing is that if you're gonna be good, you're gonna be targeted. regardless. You know what I mean? And how often do you get targeted? I think it really depends. Like, I think she cries foul a little bit too much, in my perspective, to be perfectly honest. Because I think a lot of players do go through that. I mean, if you take a look, at examples in the men's NBA, there's always been players that have been talked down to and like really basically beat up, for lack of a better word, in those games. And they're still out there and they're not crying, they're not yelling foul. Now, the thing with Caitlyn, I think, is the money issue. I don't think she would be, complaining as much if they paid her more, because now they have an incentive to actually endure all that pain, I guess, or, cheap shots, for lack of a better word, at the professional level. Because I think that's what a lot of the men do. They don't really complain because they're making millions over millions. If women did the same thing, I don't think they would complain as much. I think the issue is more not that she's getting beat up and that the WNBA is trying to take it out on her. I think if they paid her more, she might be okay with it.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's going to be a topic later in the show about pay. But I got a question for you, Rico. Who's going to pay her more? Like the WNBA is not making money. Like they're
It's
not.
funded by the NBA.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
profitable
I
right
just
now.
think it has
So
to
they've
do
got a
with
long way
jealousy.
to go before they're getting multi-million-dollar contracts like NBA players. One last thing, and before we go, I want to see if Colin wants to chime in. He's trying to talk.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with jealousy and what the girls saw in her college career and whatnot. She won a title. She was the best player in the world. She got a lot of fans that gravitated towards her. I just feel like it has to do a lot with it. She is a little bit of, like Rico's saying, she is a little bit of aggressive player, bouncing around and whatnot. But that, I feel like they maybe should do more than 1 game suspension. That was a little aggressive, jumping on her and pushing her on her back and stuff. Maybe 2, 3 games, a little fine, something like that. But
Yeah, we're
that's
fine.
just
We're
my
fine.
opinion.
If you really want to hurt anybody, you always just fine them. Welcome to the U.S.
Give us some
I don't
money.
think any. I don't think any of these fouls though should be retaliatory, and I don't think there should be anything like, oh well, this is a professional league, so they should just deal with it because all the men do it. Like I don't know. I'm not sure I feel that. But here's something that's interesting. Now, a lot of people have also been talking about the 30th anniversary cover and poster of the WNBA, where Caitlin Clark was not included on anything in that photo. So here's a quote from Clay Travis at ESPN. The WNBA left Caitlin Clark off their 30th anniversary poster. We have truly never seen anything like this. The league got a golden goose and is doing everything they can to kill her.
Jeez.
Any thoughts on that
He's a
before we
good
move
point.
on?
They definitely are
Yeah,
fumbling her a bit. I,
I'm
I
not
would
sure
have
that.
liked to see her go to another league. You know, I'd like to see her stick around the WNBA for a little while, but we'll see what happens. What were you gonna say, Rico?
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's. I don't think it's a WNBA problem that they're trying to kill like their golden goose. Let's say. I think it's just it might be personality problems or communication problems more than anything. And what I'm getting in that perspective is like I don't think the WNBA has like a good union to be able to talk to their owners or even the people that own the WNBA itself. I think if they get like a collective bargaining, I think that would be a lot beneficial. And if they already have one, they need to be louder because I'm not even sure if they have one.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I think they have a players'
Just
association.
legally.
I
I
think
think they
every
have a
league.
players
I think
association.
every
So
league, yeah,
if
like
they
my
do, then
players association.
they should be able to be loud or actually make it more of an issue than just kind of stay behind the scenes and let the players deal with it. My guess is like, how come, if it's such an issue, why isn't other players involved with it too?
Because then again, a lot of
Right.
these players, a lot of the people in the players' association are past players. Jealousies still can come into play there.
Uh,
So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, dude. Have you guys ever heard the saying "a rising tide lifts all boats"?
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Clark is the rising tide. So all of this stuff
Yep.
about getting paid more, all this stuff about being treated more equally, getting more TV time, more fans in the seats. You need Caitlin Clark. So remember when she was going on the road, these WNBA teams had to rent out larger arenas just so they could put all the fans in there to watch the
Right.
games against the Indiana Fever. Remember when we've got what, a two-time MVP champ, and yet Caitlin Clark has double the TV viewers on her games than even the MVP. I'm just saying, like, you've got greatness in your. I know there's going to be some jealousy, but
But
I would
is
I would definitely try to like prop this up. She's the
but
face of the league. You just got to deal with it.
is
Right. If
I mean,
she's gonna make everybody else more money.
Yeah, she
So
ain't gonna play forever. So do your thing.
yeah.
I
Like
No.
don't think it's greatness. I think people are just attracted to the drama, and they know she brings drama, so that's why they want to see. You
No,
know,
that's Asia Wilson, dude.
We all know how
That's
women
yeah.
are, and we'll leave it at that. I mean, so, come on, bro.
Hey.
It's not a men's players association. This is a ladies players association. Jealousy and stuff like that could play a major factor. You
I
know,
can
what I mean,
see
it's
that.
hard to tell. It's hard to tell a lady to suck it up. You know what I mean? So that's where my. Let's just being honest. You know what
yeah,
I
I
mean?
think I read.
Like,
And yes, so Sophie Cunningham and I think Caitlin Clark, their teammates, apparently they account for like 71% of the WNBA
Viewers?
jerseys sold.
I
Oh,
like Sophie. I like Sophie.
Yeah.
Sophie's cute. Yeah, I watch it.
I like all women. I like all women.
Oh,
All right, guys.
boy.
Hey, that was great. Let's move on to the next topic because we're in the midst of the elimination rounds of World
Woo!
Cup soccer.
Woo!
However, there are two front runners that have already been knocked out of the World Cup in Germany and the Netherlands. So Germany lost to Paraguay and the Netherlands to Morocco, respectively, via penalty kicks, though. Okay? So
Yes.
both Germany and Netherlands were favored to go really far into the World Cup, and they got knocked down by penalty kicks. And some people are
But
saying, hey, a great team like that should be facing other great teams, not getting upset over penalty kicks, and losing. Which brings me to our next topic. Are penalty kicks actually anticlimactic in the World Cup? What do you guys think about penalty
No,
kicks?
no, you need penalty kicks in the World Cup.
Absolutely
they
not.
should
You
You
have
watch
want
this in
to
the bar,
they should
it's
just have a
going
sport
crazy.
individually for penalty kicks. I think that's the
Like a skills,
epitome of
Yeah,
soccer.
skills
You know, you
you need
cannot have
penalty kicks in this
soccer
game.
without penalty kicks.
Yeah.
That's the highlight, you know?
you would definitely love to see a regulation goal or a goal in overtime. It just I feel like, in other sports, overtimes and extra innings can go and go and go and go and go. I feel like they just, found a way to kind of stop the elongated, extra game that could go forever. But PKs are
But
fun, dude.
imagine,
I love them.
I think so.
I
Mano
mean, they're
a
already
mano, man to man. You know? Let the better
they're, they're
man
already
win.
playing. They're already
The
playing
goal,
30
the
minutes of
goal,
extra
the
time. You
goalies,
think
the
they're gonna?
goalies playing mind tricks on the guys taking the kicking. There's so much
Doing
that
the
goes into
voodoo
it.
on them.
Yeah, it kind of is cool that we do have some underdogs advancing. This was the first time that the Netherlands
Right.
haven't advanced in a while, and Germany's won the World Cup, I think, 4 times. So they're four
Yeah,
times champs.
they
So no one
did.
expected them to lose that early in the first
No,
round of the
Right.
knockout round.
no,
That's what's exciting about the penalty kick.
Yeah,
And how good does that make the U.S. look that Paraguay beat Germany, and we beat the crap out of Paraguay,
Right?
good point.
yeah,
Right? Yep.
definitely.
and we won tonight pretty convincingly. So that.
Yeah, USA is looking good. A lot of
Yeah,
people were
better.
telling, saying to me and stuff is, knockout stage is a whole different ball game. Knockout stage is like the playoffs, and
Right.
group stage is like regular season. So don't
It's a
look
do or
too
die.
much at the group stage.
Do or die! Do or
Do or
die!
die. It's a little different,
Yes! I can't wait for the next match.
One thing I do
Mano
want to say
a
too is like
mano. And there should be bloodshed, like back in the olden days,
I was gonna say,
Kick
like
to the groin!
penalty kicks have been part of the game forever. It's not like, so I get it, but no, not
Right.
weapons. They haven't had weapons, Rico. So
Oh,
I don't know if you're gonna add that, like a mace and like
the
spike.
future
That
is
would be
here.
Oh boy.
So they're
The
Spike Lee.
future is now.
Final player standing, team wins.
Yeah!
That's
I
what
like
calling
that.
all day.
We should
It's
just
not-
create a new sport.
I'll
Yeah,
take early Holland all day for that shit.
A
think
mixture of
it's-
UFC and soccer.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, let's do this then. So let's just see. It sounds like we're kind of on the same page. Let's just make sure. Now, if you're for penalty kicks still being included, and you don't think it's anticlimactic, just raise your hand. Keep your hand down if you want to see it gone. Okay. Yeah, same page. Move on. Speaking of the World Cup and crazy tactics, Rico, and you're Mexican, right? So this looks good,
Yeah.
man. So Ecuador filed complaints after Mexico fans disrupted the Ecuador team's hotel, ahead of their World Cup match. The tactic known as Team Hotel Serenade is a deeply ingrained yet polarizing tradition in Latin American soccer. Are
Yes.
World Cup fans, because this is the World Cup, going too far? And basically, again, what they did is they just partied. They sent a lot of
Mariachi band.
noise right outside of
Mariachi band.
the opposing team. And now Ecuador is pleading to the World Cup and FIFA that it shouldn't be anymore.
Yeah, I don't see why they should be complaining. It's like when I'm at the World Series and you send an escort to your neighbor's room just so they don't play well the next day. They're not gonna come and complain. Come on, Ecuador. This is a years old tradition. You know,
What do
they
you
should be
do?
serenading
What do you mean you're
together.
complaining? You got to figure out if you want to win a World Cup game and that type of stuff's happening, you got to figure a way to mask that noise. You got to play
Exactly.
music.
Yes.
Play music that you're comfortable sleeping to. You know, a
Right.
fan, something. This is a baloney excuse. I don't believe him.
Now we got two Mexican guys right here, so there you go.
Can I just say one thing? So today Rico says this is all good, but in like episode 3, Rico's saying, "What about the mosquitoes at the UFC fight? That's gonna make it not fair." You know what I mean? Like, remember that?
Why you gotta bring up all
Mosquitoes
stuff?
and potential raid? Like, come on, Rico.
Well,
That's
I mean,
Team
but
Mexico.
you
Oh,
got
that's
two
fun.
Hispanic guys right here, and if you're calling
my mask.
Ecuador, I get it, but you gotta play fair. I mean, they're still playing on the same field. Now, if this was Mexico doing this to Norway or USA, I might take the Ecuador side in this, but
If it's a
you still gotta play.
tradition. You know, why spin on tradition? It's been doing so good so far.
All right, let's try this one more time because I kind of like the last segment. Do you think it's fair? Put your hands up if you think it's fair game for opposing teams' fans to do a team hotel serenade. Fair game?
Closing or
Not
forward?
Yeah, I'll take that.
I say fair
Yeah.
game.
All right,
Yeah,
same
cool.
page. All right, cool. So earlier, Rico. Oh, I was saying, Mike's all about it. He's like, his hand's still up and is coming closer to the camera. He's like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Give me a high five. So, I want to bring up the next thing because Rico, we were talking about the WNBA and you said, pay Caitlin Clark more and there'll be less. I think you're saying Caitlin Clark could pay the women more and there'll be less UFC or whatever you were saying.
Issues or less complaints.
That's actually our next topic. So, I was just online and I was reading a lot of people were upset about this here. So there's been a lot of social media outrage, especially over players like Juan Soto, who plays for the New York Mets, and his lack of effort after getting a $765 million contract with the New York Mets and refusing to dive for a catchable hit into the outfield, which led to an in-the-park home run. So the guy gets paid almost a contract for almost $1 billion, and yet now it seems like he's kind of slacking off. Have these pro contracts gotten out of hand?
Fuck yes.
Michael,
Hey,
tell me more.
okay, hey.
Game on.
Yes, they have, but a player like Shohei Ohtani, it's fine. A generational talent like that, but Juan Soto is not a generational talent. The dude's a bum. I don't believe that he should have been paid anywhere close to what he was. That's just crazy to me that he was handed that much money. Somebody that pitches, can
Where's the
hit,
sliding scale here,
generational
though?
talent. Maybe
You
he's
know?
worth $700 million.
But that's the thing. Like, where's the sliding scale? How do we decide that one player is better than the other if we don't do it by the way they play the sport itself? If he's a really
Well,
good
that-
player, because yes, Tony's good. Soto, he was good. I mean, he's not as good as he was before. But how can you justify paying one yes and not the other, yet their athletic ability is still very similar?
Their athletic
Yeah,
ability
I
isn't
mean,
very
you
similar.
heard the
One
same
one can
thing.
pitch and then one can hit.
You don't think it's similar
One can
anymore?
hit.
Well, Soto's getting
What?
older, but Tony's going to get older too. I mean, do you take away money from Tony when he's older?
No, I mean,
I'm just
they
saying,
sign a
like, I don't know
contract.
where the science goes at.
Contracts usually get redone and they go up. They don't go down. So think about it like this. This is a kind of a perspective.
You
So
guys will miss my camera.
ticket prices, concession, everything that goes into stadiums and whatnot has gone and risen, right? So when all these owners are making all this money, they play their players a certain percent. So if that's going up, then the players' pay is going up, and that's why the players' pay has risen so much because the owners are making so much more than they used to.
Right.
I don't know how you would have to intervene that. Maybe the MLB gets a bigger cut, start to fund, does something with the money. I don't know, but there's no real way to do anything other than maybe a salary cap. But I still think that is a little bit of a drastic measure in the MLB to do. Can't really. I don't
Well,
really
again,
like
because it
capping
is
that.
well, because it is entertainment, and but entertainment's always based on the public, right? It's not like you're, I don't know, a 9 to 5 guy where it's like you're expected to perform for this amount of time and get paid this amount of money. When you're in the
True.
entertainment industry, it's mostly driven by the public. So if more and more people keep on going, yeah, I do understand that the contracts are going to keep on going up. So one way it's like, what, do you boycott it so they don't make as much money? Like there's, I don't know. How can you?
I don't know.
Should
Every other sport has a salary cap in this country, so maybe baseball
increase
should
it?
lean that way.
It's interesting because I don't really have a answer for that because it's like if they're playing and they're trying to get better because of the money issue because the better you are the more you make. It's like, okay, so then do you put a cap on that, and then what happens for the people that are above the rest? I mean, do you take the money out of sports and then just play it for the love of it?
That won't happen professionally ever.
Right? Because I mean, we're
They're
already
gonna play for the
ingrown
money.
and stuck in the money aspect of it. But yet, in other countries, I know that they play much rougher sports for much less money, and still people are lining up for those sports. So that's what I was saying. Like, what if you restricted the amount of money? I'd say like instead of scalping tickets, you can only buy the ticket. It should only be $12. Therefore, you only know how much it's gonna be for the. But again, I think it's a
Then you
problem with
start. You
society
start
in general.
if that's the only thing you can change, and then you're affecting with the outside economy, and nobody's gonna mess with allow that. So
Mm.
it's just you know
It's like a catch-22, as they say. If you
it's a
screw with
very big
this,
catch point too. Because if you go backwards and mess with the economy, you're gonna hear it from I don't know whoever, but you're gonna hear it.
right,
I'll tell
the upper echelons,
you. Somebody's gonna say something. The
right?
big
No,
boys.
absolutely right. So that is an interesting topic, but like I said, I'm just not sure how to remedy that. Like I said, do you take the money out of the politics, or do you not the politics, the sports? But I mean, we're just
Makes you
going
wonder.
around and round. I think.
I just can't believe how much some professional athletes get paid, especially MLB players. I don't want to call Soto out, as an individual or anything. It's not my call. I don't know anything about that. But when I was looking into this topic a little bit, I found something really, 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 really interesting. So I just told you that his overall contract will pay sort of about, what was it, 785 or something,
Jeez.
which I think makes him the highest paid player in the MLB right now, at about 50 something million per year. However, this is really interesting. So when I was doing my research, the New York Mets are the sixth most valuable team in the MLB, and they just generated a record-breaking amount of ballpark related revenue. So most people are always like, well, they deserve it because they're selling all these tickets. But the New York Mets is actually operating at a loss as a business.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
about 280 to 300 million in losses
Oh,
because
The
of
owner, the owner
player
has the biggest pocket
salaries.
in baseball.
player salaries,
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
luxury tax penalties. So his operating income's actually at a loss. And just Soto's contract alone, if you do like, we'll just say it's 50 million, that's more than like how much the team makes on sponsorships and advertising. It's a third of what they make in ticket sales. It's more than they sell in luxury suites and premium clubs for the season. It's more than concessions. All that money, it's more than the parking lot and concessions put together. Like to pay one person. I think that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
they're out of their minds. I think they might be the only team that's losing money like that. But look into the owner. He's has the deepest pockets in all of sports, so he
This
don't
is
care.
this. I always found this funny too,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get too far
Excuse me.
off topic, so forgive me, Colin. But it's like everyone's always like, "Oh, billionaires are bad," and the ultra wealthy, we need to tax them more. But my favorite baseball player needs to get paid more, and he deserves to stay on this team. Otherwise, I can get paid somewhere else. I'm like, come on, man, what is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's another
you got a
catch
point.
22 right there, huh? Which way does it
Listen,
go?
you vote with your money. You vote with your money. I don't want to spend
No,
money
wait,
on
no,
this,
no.
but I'll spend money on that. Because
Um,
I mean, it goes to the same thing. It's like some people will spend, thousands of dollars to try and make that one game to see their favorite sports player, but yet can't pay rent the next month. I think it's part of a human problem where it's like we rather be entertained than take care of ourselves. And until we can remedy that, I think the issue that we're talking about now will always continue to exist because you're going to get people that rather be entertained and will pay buku bucks to, like I said, pay their rent or, put food on the table. It's sad but true, but I mean, again, how do you fix that?
mhm. Does anybody else have anything? Good. Well, it's a good segue actually because we don't know if he's going to do it for money or for love of the game or chasing greatness, but LeBron James just announced that he's leaving the LA Lakers and joining free agency. So far, about 12 teams have said that they've shown some interest, or at least LeBron's agent has said 12 teams have shown interest. So I'd like to recap his time with the Lakers to start with. And we've got Colin, who is a Lakers fan and a big NBA fan. Colin, where does LeBron James fit in LA Lakers all time greats? Is there anything else you want to talk about with that topic there? Where do you think he goes next? Anything like that?
Oh boy, you got what? You got Magic Johnson, Julius Erving, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, LeBron,
Shaq.
Shaq.
Yeah.
So it's maybe seven, maybe seven.
Duh,
He
I don't
isn't
think
he
he's
isn't
not
very
traded
high.
with the
He isn't very high up
Chicago
there.
Bulls.
He only played 8 years there. You know, a lot of those guys played 10 plus years with the Lakers and whatnot. So maybe
Yeah, he's
maybe top 10, top 7, something like
And
that.
he's got one title. I mean, those other guys have multiple titles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That LeBron's leaving, man. That guy's always been all talk in my perspective.
tell me more.
Like
What do you
you have
think?
all these players that show their greatness on the court itself, and then you got LeBron that makes like I don't know $1 billion. You're like I'm the greatest of the world. It's like no, you're not. Just because you're big doesn't mean you're great. Show us what you can do. Like Scottie Pippen or even these other younger. What was the one short of this Bud Webster? I mean, that guy I think
Yes,
was better than
Bud.
LeBron James. Look
I,
how tall he
I'm so
was,
angry that he never played in the slam dunk contest or the 3 point contest. That still pisses me off. It's like that
right?
would have been fun to see him in that, right?
Yes,
If you
exactly.
really want to be compared with Jordan and Pippen and the rest of the guys, playing that.
Right. Yeah, I think LeBron was just too overblown from the get go, just because he's a big guy and he could, somewhat shoot a ball. Didn't he have issues like doing free throws for the like first 10 years or whatever that he played?
He was okay with the free throws. I One thing though is when he went to LA and left Cleveland, his hometown area, which there are rumors he might go back to Cleveland. He went to
Of
LA.
course.
LA wasn't a great team. He helped recruit Anthony Davis over there. They did win a championship, so they were. I think they missed the playoffs maybe 8 years in a row, And then he joined. They won a championship in their second season, I think, the COVID year, which some people want to put an asterisk next to that. I think LeBron James is probably look. I gotta give respect where respect is due. He's probably a top 3 player all time, but he's not a. I don't think he's in the top 5 of LA Lakers lore. Probably,
No.
arguably the best franchise in NBA history. Them and the Celtics. But you could argue, the Showtime Lakers in the '80s and all that stuff.
And the
Colin,
2000s.
I got Jerry West ahead of him personally. Like for LA Lakers, right? Best Lakers. Magic Johnson, Kobe. You could say Shaq if you want, Kareem, and Will Chamberlain too.
I was gonna say Will Chamberlain. Yeah, I can't forget that guy.
I mean, Irving. I mean, dude, the list could go on. He is very close to 10, like upper, like it's. There's a lot of good players that have been. James Worthy, bro. I mean, what are we doing?
Oh, there you go.
I mean, he is done. Yeah.
He's between 7 and 10.
LA, for what they.
Between 7 and 10.
Yeah, I put LeBron in my bottom 10.
But
ouch.
In 8 years, 8 All NBA and 8 All Stars in 8 seasons with the Lakers. So, and that's 34 to 42 or whatever, 41. So
now my question is, does he do another decision, show where he makes up where he's gonna go like he did for Miami?
That was he didn't do it for the last team, right? So I don't see him doing it.
He didn't, but is he gonna do this as like a farewell kind of thing?
Yeah, it was kind of a big deal. He won Cleveland a championship and then decided to go to LA.
Right. I think he's going to go back to Cleveland. I just think he's going to go back to Cleveland. That's where his home's at. I think that's where he wants to retire. I think that's why he's making this move.
I think that'd be.
I still think the Warriors have a shot. I think he wants to play with Steph at least one season.
As of today, the top 3 teams that are on the radar for, we'll call them the self-proclaimed GOAT, are the Golden State Warriors, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Miami Heat. To team up with Giannis, that we talked about on our last episode, Antetokounmpo. So any of those could be good. But there's been a lot of trades today as well, which might shake up the league a little bit more. And now every team is rumored to be in the mix for LeBron, including the Celtics and the 76ers, on top of the teams we just named, because of some big trades and stuff. I want to go back to Colin really quick, please, because, man, he's our resident expert. He's always dropping updates and everything on this. There's been a lot of movement in NBA free agency and off-season trades. If you want to go over some of those big names, also, which off-season moves do you think are setting their teams up for success?
Oh, yeah. Well, just today altogether, and this week, there's been some. Today was the start of, free agency signing. I know free agency started yesterday, but the signings started coming in, flowing in today. The trades that happened this week, you got Kawhi Leonard. He went to Toronto. Making his homecoming there. Hopefully he retires there. That'd be cool. And then Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick went back to the Clippers. 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. I thought that was a pretty cool trade. Kawhi gets to go play and finish his career where he had one of his championships. Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick get to play for a new team in LA. Ingram's already been in LA with the Lakers. The other trade, Ja Morant went to the Blazers. They got a lot of guards, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Blazers do at the guard position. But the Grizzlies got back Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. They're both forwards. They're both pretty solid, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Grizzlies team shapes up. Walker Kessler went to the Lakers today. The Lakers gave up 2 firsts, and they got 2 pick swaps coming their way, so we'll see what the pick swaps end up being, at the end of the year. And then the big one, Jaylen Brown went to the Sixers.
Hear about that.
Interesting trade. I mean, you don't see too many teams trade, in conference like that, especially to a team they have a rivalry with. But the Celtics
knocked them out of the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And then the Celtics got Paul George, 2 firsts and 2 second backs, so they got a little bit of a future, and they got a guy that can play decently in the league right now. But it definitely ain't Jaylen Brown on your team. I'll tell you that much.
So,
What are you guys' thoughts
so
on those trades right there?
Well, they didn't trade the team. I'll admit to that. Shoot, what is it? At least these trades seem a little bit more the fair
Yeah,
side.
Yeah.
not that Jalen Brown's trade. I'm pissed off. I got my Celtics hat here. I'm not gonna wear it anymore. I was like gonna wear it today. Forget that. What is going on, Brad Stevens? Let me tell you what. This is ridiculous. So before I got on here, I was like, I can't be the only one who's like, why did we trade an MVP candidate, Eastern Conference Finals and Finals MVP, NBA champion, carried the team on
It's
his back.
old.
Tatum was
Trade
hurt.
the old guy.
Paul George, who's good, like 37,
Let's
right?
get some new guys in
Draft pick.
here.
The draft picks, who could maybe be Jalen Brown. We already had Jalen Brown. Even if we kept Jalen Brown, we'd still be a top 1, 2, or 3 team in the East, and definitely a shot at the title, at least the Eastern Conference Finals. Now we traded away Jalen Brown for, I don't know. Look, I really hope
Some money.
Brad Stevens still. No, they're only saving $3 million. If
Uh,
that, because Paul George's contract's so big, and he
I
barely
see.
plays anymore. I think he missed more games in the last 2 seasons than he's actually played. I am
He did.
pissed. 76ers fans, congratulations. You knocked us out of the playoffs last year, and you actually got better by taking one of our players. I went on their sub earlier on Reddit, and it was so funny because, number one, the Celtics fans are all crying. And I'm upset because Jalen Brown is like my favorite Celtic, at least since he was a rookie, right? Number two, all the 76ers fans are apologizing for talking shit about Jalen Brown because he's now coming to their team. You know, it's so funny. They're like, we weren't making fun of you. I didn't make that shitty video
It's
about you.
Iverson's team, so watch out what you say, man.
I'm
Go
so
Sixers. Woo!
And then Jalen was, all last year he was talking shit about, or talking crap about Embiid being a flopper. Now they're teammates.
Oh, true. Let's see.
You
Let's
know?
see when they square up in the locker room, right? They're coming in the locker room like this.
What's gonna happen?
Now you got to team up with them. Yeah, that's a good point. But when
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be a Christmas game, guys. It's gonna be Sixers against the
Big
Celtics,
game.
and it's gonna be Tatum against Jalen Brown. It's gonna feed families, man. It's gonna feed families in
It's gonna
South
be
Philadelphia.
families.
Seriously.
And you still got to deal with the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Eastern Conference is gonna be interesting. Because I'm a Celtics fan, I'm a little bit more passionate about that trade there. What about you guys? Are you happy with any trades or anything interesting? What do you think's going
I
on?
wanted to ask you about Mitchell Robertson. That's one of your guys' signings. You got a new center from the New York Knicks. How do you feel about him coming on over?
I think it's good that we'll just say set the Knicks back a little bit. I feel I'm not
He's
really
a
sure
great
what we're
leader.
gonna do with the centers with our team yet. Some people say he's not good enough to be like playing a lot of minutes as a starter. I don't know. I think we'll be fine there. We also picked up Mike Conley, who's
Yep,
probably
point
a
guard.
bit old right now. But hey, man, I don't know. I really don't know what we're doing right
Can
now.
you
I'll
hear
be
me?
honest with you.
What are
Like
you
I was
saying?
saying before you walked away, Colin. Even if we didn't trade Jalen Brown and kept the team that we have now, we're still a contender in the East. Now, I don't know if we can. And then remember, Jason Tatum got hurt with a Achilles injury, so that's no joke. I mean, now you're really
Uh,
betting the future on Tatum and whoever else we could recruit, hopefully. But yeah.
yeah, that is. But you guys still have a decent lineup. You got Pritchard and you got you
Oh
got
my God.
Keta. You got you got Keta as your center.
Aaron White.
You got Hugo Gonzalez as your backup center, and then
Okay,
now you
we've got
got
a decent team who got beaten the brakes off by the 76ers, and we traded our best player during that series to the 76ers.
2-1.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
We're not.
All right. Well, I'll roll into a couple more free agents. We'll just kind of review them. Kelly Oubre went to the Pacers, $17 million deal. I like this one for the Spurs. Tobias Harris went to the Spurs on a 2-year, $31 million deal. I like that move for them. He's coming over from the Pistons. I think that really bolsters their roster. Quentin Grimes, Colin Sexton, and Sandro Mumakelshavi went to the Lakers. They all signed about 2-year or 4-year deals. Norman Powell went to the Bulls. And Zach Collins went to the Bulls. So those are a couple good signings for the Bulls. And then John Collins, who was on the Jazz the last few years as a center, he signed a 3-year, $51 million deal with the Pistons. So that's
a
their
good deal.
Jalen Duran replacement. And then I like this one for the Warriors is Porzingis signing a 2-year, $40 million deal. So some free agent signings that happened so far this year, and I think that helps all
sounds
those.
pretty fair.
I think
Not
the
too
Lakers
outrageous.
kind of filled that cap room that LeBron was holding for so long and whatnot. So hopefully the new team that the Lakers build, has a chance. We'll see how they gel. Maybe sign one or
Yeah,
two
you
more
still have
people.
Luka.
Maybe making a
So
trade. Who knows?
I love Luka. He's great. He's fun to watch for sure.
You guys have any more thoughts about the
Interesting.
NBA free agency or trades
You
that
guys
have been
have
going on?
anything else you'd like to chat about NBA wise?
Well, not NBA. I kind of want to go back to the World Cup.
Go ahead.
Yeah. What do you got about
Well,
the
I
World
just
Cup?
wanted to throw it out there. I didn't know this, but the guy by Gilberto Mora, he's actually the Mexican soccer player, the youngest player in the World Cup this year at age 17 and 240 days. The only player younger than him was Pelé
Wow.
to ever play in the World Cup.
So are you
Yeah,
comparing him to Pele already?
Well, age-wise,
bro,
I am.
Like, bro.
Prodigy.
I just think it's always kind of cool when you get like the younger dynamics inside like these sports, because some of these World Cup players, I mean, they played for centuries. They keep on going and going. It's just really interesting to me when you get those young bucks.
I think he's the youngest that's ever scored. How old's Jamal?
How old is
Spain?
he?
Spanish guy? I think he's like 18.
He scored.
So did Mora at 17 and 240 days.
Did he score last night?
Last night, not sure. I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think he scored. I don't think he scored in this World Cup because Yamal is still the youngest World Cup goal scorer.
The Spanish guy,
You might be right. By the way, did you say he was the youngest or the second youngest?
I'm pretty sure Yamal is
Pele's always been the youngest.
Behind that one guy way in the past.
He's the second youngest. But he's also the youngest North American player to ever appear in FIFA World Cup. I don't know if he scored yet, though.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to see myself. I thought he did last time.
If Mexico keeps rolling, he'll keep giving chances. I think that was his first game he started, or second game he started. So
I think what's even more impressive about that team, though, is that if I remember correct, they've shut out their opponent in every game. I think that is pretty impressive.
They haven't allowed a single goal.
Yeah,
correct.
It's even more impressive than having the
young players. See what happens when you get young players on your team? No one scores.
I just want to throw this out there. Mbappe is only 27. I think for France.
Oh man, he's scary.
I think when it's all said and done, he might be like the all-time leading scorer.
I think he's 27. Holland's like 25. Gonna take 26.
There is some good young talent, Rico. I mean, they don't.
This is true.
They don't have to pluck him out of high school. Like, put down your math book. You're coming to play soccer for our country. Like, come on.
I mean, like this guy has potential to go to like maybe 10 different World Cups. He'll be almost 50, but whatever. He'll be almost 50.
You want a guy playing 40 years World Cups?
Like Ochoa is one of the oldest out there, and he's still, the goalie for Mexico. Also, he's one of the oldest players, or one of the few players that's participated like in 5 or 6 different World Cups.
And Messi's
I think about 6 is the max World Cups.
6,
because 7 times 4 is 28. So if you're playing 7,
so you
got to play for 28 years.
Right. Yeah, you can do that in soccer because you're always running, so you got to keep healthy.
Definitely do got to have some good endurance.
Good cardio. That's cool. I'm glad you brought that up. Speaking of which, another feel-good story to cap off the show. I'm sure you guys remember The Sandlot growing up. Really fun baseball movie.
Great movie.
Well, the cast, Mike showed me this, and I dug into it. It's really, because I'm really excited to hear the Sandlot cast is reuniting for a new comedy series called Dugout Dads, where they're now the parents.
Oh.
And although the release date hasn't been announced yet, it is coming out later this year. It also has Danielle Fisher, who played Topanga in Boy Meets World, everybody's crush growing up in the 90s.
I like
She
Topanga,
was cute,
sure.
man. She was cute.
Yeah.
I love her.
So that's kind of some news. So I just wanted to end the show and just ask you guys, what are some of your favorite sports TV shows or movies of all time?
Moneyball.
Moneyball.
The Perfect Game.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams is a good one, man. That's
That's a good one.
good.
Digstown. Come on, guys.
I was gonna say Rudy until I heard all the
Angels in the outfield.
Space Jam,
Yes.
anyone?
Yes.
I named all those are my 3 baseball
There we
films right
go.
there. Big Bang.
Yeah. Field of Dreams is a good
Bull Durham.
And we can't forget Rocky 4. Come on, Ivan Drago. And
Oh,
Rocky.
Rocky,
baby.
sports movie, man.
Rocky Balboa. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
They won't even with a statue.
Don't forget, you can't forget No Holds Bar.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
So
some-
good.
All right, guys.
Time.
What's that?
It's getting to be around that time again.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Really fun show. It's great talking, catching up with you guys on this week's news. We'll have a lot
Yes.
more topics to talk about as the World Cup continues, NBA free agencies open, NFL
Should be starting
NFL's
soon.
around the
pretty
corner.
soon. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. And Wimbledon, for those who are into it. Colin reminded me. I almost forgot. But Serena Williams is playing. She's unranked, but she is going to be participating this
Is she
year.
doing
She got
doubles? I heard
Did
a
she
rumor
get
about
knocked
that.
out?
She
Did
got
she
knocked out, but
already?
I think, yeah, unfortunately. But the
I
doubles.
think she got knocked out, bro, today.
Oh,
But-
dang. That didn't last long. Well, that's
Make sure if you're watching
Never
this, you're
mind.
joining your fantasy leagues. Join your fantasy leagues. All right.
And not only
Yeah.
that, before we leave,
not talking
get ready
fancy.
for this weekend, 4th of July, the hot dog eating contest. Don't forget.
Oh yeah.
Joey Chestnut, baby! Let's
This
go!
is the goat.
Nathan
man.
Dogs.
Joey
Nathan
Chestnut's
Dogs.
awesome. What happened to that Japanese guy? Wasn't there a Japanese?
Kobayashi?
Yeah, what-
Kobayashi?
Kobayashi! Kobayashi!
What happened to him? Just
He got
Chestnut was
old.
so much better.
He was around for a while. I don't know what happened.
He just disappeared 'cause
Kobayashi?
Joey Chestnut took all the spotlight, and then what happened? He disappeared for like 2 years. Was it like legal problems or something?
Man, they probably jacked up their stomachs from eating too much, but who knows? We'll see.
I did see a documentary on that. They really legit go through some crazy stuff in training, so they can eat all those hot dogs for that Coney
Too
Island.
much.
I think that was a 30.
Imagine the bowel movements.
Oh, jeez, stop. So don't forget to watch it this 4th of July, man, so we can see who the new champions are.
Okay, so you got oh, then next week we have McGregor's back. on
Oh,
the
we got a
11th.
lot. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
Dude.
That's gonna be some
Hey,
fun
guys,
times
uh,
there.
Same.
Talk about next week, boys.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yep.
It's a good evening. Had a lot of fun. We'll catch you next week, and let's keep on watching sports.
All right.
Yep.
Peace
Take it
out.
easy, guys. Bye.
Later, guys.
Yeah.
Finish him!